My check 1 2, my check 1 2 3. I can hear me. Can I hear you?
Yes, Sirski.
All right, J.A.B. Next, you are back again with another podcast episode. So today we are going to talk a little bit about sports. Um, let's just talk about first and foremost. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces. If you don't know who that is a WNBA team, a women's professional basketball league, and they are a relatively new team.
hmm
What was the team created like 3 years ago?
Just
4 years
about. I
ago.
think. I think maybe
It's not
four.
even it's
Maybe
not even
four.
it's not even 5 years old, I don't
Yeah.
think. And they done won two championships. They got two championships um under their belt. My favorite player on there, as well as Jalen's, is Asia Wilson. Shout out to Asia. The girl tall. The girl is a tree.
What you say?
Force to be reckoned with, if you may. But shout out to her. She really is, a good contributor to the team. Everybody
Yeah.
plays their part. She did really well. Do you have anything to say?
No, I'm just. I, shout out to them, like you said, and I'm just happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Just for them to get all the way there and finally finish it through, and for Asia to actually, I think this is her first. Is it her first? I think this is her first championship she won.
Ooh,
Asia, or this they second.
this
This they
her
second.
second. This her
This
second one, I
okay,
think.
okay. Cause I know she won like she been moving up drastically as far as like she won the MVP. I think she was rookie of the year as well, and then now, and then she a champion twice. So that's like a great achievement for her. Like I think this is only her fourth year, maybe. I know she been on the team for a minute, or I don't know. But I think she graduated like from South Carolina 2018, somewhere around that. But like, hey, I commend them. Congratulations to the Aces. You know, if any of y'all listening, congratulations. Proud of y'all. Hey, do it again next year. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But yeah, but we're gonna push gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know we switching gears fast this episode, but like this is like breaking news. Not really. We kind of late, but when y'all hear this, we'll be late. But this is breaking news as of currently. Uh, Draymond Green, sock pool. You know what I'm saying? He sock pool in the mouth. Um, I do not know what happened or what transpired for this, situation to escalate to that. You know what I'm saying? To that altitude. Uh, but you can see they was sharing words with each other. And one thing led to another. Draymond walked up, Poole pushed him. Next thing you know, he said, you know what I'm saying? He Superman. So how you feel about it? Like what's your thoughts on it, Ari? Because how I seen it, it was kind of like, why Draymond? But you know, people might have different perspectives. So what you thought about it?
I feel like this is not out of character for Draymond to do something like this. I feel like this is very in character for Draymond
Uh,
to do something like this. Like even like him on the court, like his energy, he's kind of like, you know, this kind of aggressive mentality.
yeah,
Um,
he's a
him
dog.
and him and Patrick Beverly, like they are straight up black Air Force One,
They're
straight up
dogs.
at all times, at all times. So this is not out of character. Me and my dad was talking about the situation earlier,
Mhm.
and to I can understand why Draymond is mad, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes between Draymond and Jordan Poole.
Yeah,
But I feel like most of Draymond's anger should go towards the the franchise, the what's the name of the team?
Golden State. Yeah.
Golden State franchise, because Jordan Poole is relatively. Is he like you? Would you consider him a rookie? Kind of.
Yeah. I he just
He
came out
hasn't.
like last year.
Yeah, like he hasn't really been, in the league that long
Yeah.
compared to Draymond.
No.
And Jordan is getting paid more than Draymond Green.
Oh, he
So
is?
that's what my dad told me.
Oh.
So I can understand why he's mad. But here's the thing though, that hostility shouldn't be taken out on Jordan Poole. Jordan's doing his job. I'm
Right,
here to show up
right.
to practice. I'm here to show up to games, put up points, do my job, whoop de whoop. But I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's been like some underlying hostilities that has more to do with like who's getting paid what. That might have been something that happened somewhere between them two, and Draymond might be mad at him for a whole nother reason. I have no idea what it is. But I just heard that Jordan is potentially about to get paid more, or probably
Oh.
already is, than Draymond.
But
And but here's the thing though, another thing my dad was talking about, like
mhm,
when you think of players that put up points,
yeah,
Jordan Poole can do that. Not Clay. Draymond can put up points too, but Draymond is not really an offensive player.
right.
And I feel like a lot of people put too much emphasis on what wins games, making baskets. But you got to also think about this too. What helps you? What else goes into helping you win games? Making sure your opponent don't put up points as well. That's called defense. That's Draymond Green.
I mean,
You need a steal. You need somebody to be in there being aggressive. That's Draymond Green.
yeah,
You need a rebound. You need a steal. That's Draymond Green. So it's not all about like Steph Curry or Jordan Poole or Klay Thompson putting up points.
yeah,
That's good at that. We need that, but you need someone else. Another point, case an example. Dennis Rodman.
yeah,
Dennis
yeah,
Rodman was not in there to put up points. I mean, actually, Draymond Green put up more points than Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean? But Dennis Rodman's job was to make sure we get them rebounds. His job was to make sure the other team didn't score,
right,
and also to make sure when we on offense, to give my team as many chances as opportunities to get points, i.e., getting rebounds.
right. But then also with that though, like even with that mindset, I'm with you. But like, don't you think, in a sense, like of the whole money thing, when you think like Draymond would be more accepting of that because that's his role, like obviously you think he knows that, like, okay, I'm not gonna get paid big bucks like this because I'm not a consistent scorer, but they are paying me for, his role, which is, you know to pipe the team up. He a leader, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
He's a leader. He piped the team up. He plays defense. He talks the most. He talks to everybody on the team, make sure everybody right. So like, do you think like he deserves that pay? I guess I'm trying to say, like, or do you think he needs a little bit more than Jordan Poole? Because like we say, this league more now, more so now than back in the day. It's more so scoring than it is defense. So is it really the front office fault for giving Jordan Poole that contract more than Draymond Green? I know Draymond has been a veteran. He's been a key piece to the team. I don't think the Warriors would be the same without Draymond. But at the end of the day, do you think like he deserves as much money as Jordan Poole, who comes off the bench and put up, a good 20 points a game, a good 25 points, maybe sometimes 30, if they really need it. He comes off the bench and sparks scoring wise. As Draymond is just that grit and grind, getting in the trenches, getting all the rebounds, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Do you think it's still equal? They should kind of balance it out, or you think Jordan Poole should still just be, he shouldn't have got that contract? Like, how are you looking at that? Because I think that's interesting what you was talking about, but at the same time, this all falls back to the money. So you think Draymond really upset about the money? It's kind of like, you know,
I don't know exactly what all this man is upset about. In my opinion, if I was putting, Draymond's situation, if I'm a veteran, like I help, you know, I guess you could say put this team on the map. How many championships did Draymond help them win? Like three,
all four of them.
three, four, all four of them. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Um, I've here kind of made my name for myself and help, play the part in making this team be, as proficient as it is.
Right.
And then you have some new guy walking in and he's gonna put you gonna pay him more than me. It's like I feel like Draymond is kind of feeling like put some respect on my name type,
Mm,
type of situation. But my dad also made another point when we was talking. It was like you can't have your big three forever. You can't have your Clay. You can't have your Stephen. You can't have your Draymond, your
yeah.
big three forever. I feel like what the Golden State is doing, they investing in the future because Jordan Poole is only like what 23,
20, yeah, 23, 24.
20
I don't even
something years
think
old.
23.
He's young.
How old do you think 24? I think 23 and under.
Right. So I feel like what they're doing is I don't really understand why they're paying him so much money more than Draymond, but it's good to invest in your future because he's already putting up.
Mm.
He has potential. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
He has so much potential that he can be, a Steph Curry or even better.
Yeah,
Or, but you can't have your big three. They're gonna retire soon.
right.
Somebody else got to be the new face of Golden State Warriors
Mm.
because he's younger than all three of them. Draymond, Clay.
Right.
So I feel like they're trying to invest in, their future
Yeah.
as a team, and not just be stuck in the past. But I still don't think that is right. I don't know all the details.
Yeah.
Like it might be something else that didn't happen. It was probably they both could have been at a party the other weekend. Poole could have said something to Draymond, and then practice happened the next day, and Green got in his face because of what happened at the party. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
I don't even know what maybe he mad about the money. Maybe it's the money plus some other stuff that been building up
Right.
over the weeks or the months or the years. I have no idea.
Right. Cause
But
like even cause as you were saying, cause Draymond has been there longer than Poole, and I understand the whole investing in the future, but like even with that, it's kind of skeptical because they gave Curry another 200 plus $1 million contract. You know what I'm saying? All
mhm.
the way up until he like 38 or 39 or something like that. And it's just like, dang, y'all giving this man a long term contract, and he, about the same age as Draymond. And we probably gonna come out the same time. If not, Curry might come out a little later because shooters can, always gonna shoot. So it's just like, even though I don't know, like we say, the money thing, we kind of don't know the ins and outs. If we have more information, we'll get back to y'all. But like, as far as just what we seen with our own eyes, as far as the video, seemed like a lot of hostility. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they was jarring at each other, before the contact. You know what I'm saying? And Draymond ended up walking over there, like, trying to hit, like, hey, what you saying? Like, said to my face type stuff. But we just seeing from the outside, the person that recorded it, they put no audio. We don't know who said what. We just seen them walking up and then Draymond take a punch. It might have been something totally different we missed. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, all we can do is, guess and assume, but we don't want to do that. We try to speak truth on this podcast, so we ain't gonna do that. But I know I'm shifting again. So earlier this week, or earlier maybe 2 weeks ago, the incident with, I don't know if you heard Ari, but like, the Dolphins quarterback Tua, him getting that concussion and him going back into the second game when he didn't really need to go back. Like, I don't know if you have all the information, but if you do, like, share like what you think about that, because he, what I'm saying, coming from a game where he played 4 days prior, he got up, he got hit on the field, got up, almost fell back to his knees. Then he stepped out. They said it's a back injury. He come back out there, play the rest of that game, 4 days later, not even a full week, but 4 days later, come back, play another game, get slung on the turf, bangs his head on the turf, and his hand seize up, and then he's getting carted off. Like, what are your thoughts on that? As far as just the whole thing, organization wise, doctor wise, what they did see, because I know you're going to school to be a neurosurgeon, right?
No, orthopedic.
Orthopedic surgeon. My bad.
Yeah.
So like, you got kind of information. So like, let us know what you think about that whole situation.
Um, Here's the thing. After he got, hit the first time, and he said he had a back injury.
Yeah.
Having a back injury is very crucial. It's different from like having an arm injury or a leg injury. A
Right.
back injury is really serious. It depends on where on your back. If it's your spine,
Yeah.
that's very serious because if you damage some nerves in your spine, the way the human body is set up, you have your brain,
Mhm.
then you have your spine, and then you have all these nerves that branches off from your spinal cord that goes to your arms, your legs, certain organs.
Yeah.
You got a lot of nerves branching off of your spinal cord, and if you damage that spinal cord, you could potentially lose function in other body parts because that's where it starts at. You
Yeah.
know, um, all your movement, all your organ functions, it kind of starts from your brain. It goes through the signal goes from your brain to your spinal cord and it spreads out to the rest of your body. So I feel like that is serious. If he had a spinal cord injury
Yeah.
or something like that, it's different if he just pulled a muscle in his back. But if it had something
Yeah.
to do with his spine, I feel like they should have just let him rest up a little bit more because
Yeah.
that is a life altering situation that should not be handled lightly.
Right.
Um, just giving him a shot like a nerve block or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a temporary fix, but because you said not even 4 days later, he
Yeah.
went back out there and got again, hit
Yeah.
again. I feel like the first time you didn't learn, that was a learning
Yeah.
experience. The first time you got hit 4 days later, you be like, oh no, I got it. The second time, God is like, let me humble you real
Yeah.
quick. So maybe he will learn, or the franchise or his team will be like, we need to
Right.
pump the brakes on the situation. I know like the first time is kind of like, this is your job.
Right.
Um, but so I don't fault him for after the first time going back in. I don't fault him for that.
Mm-hmm.
But after this second time, um, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool
Yeah.
me twice, can't put the blame on you. That means it's my fault. After the second time I walk my
Yeah.
happy behind back on that field. You need to chill out. Chillax. Take
Yeah.
a chill pill, rest, prop your feet up. That's what I feel like he need to happen because after the first situation, you just need to learn.
Yeah. So like, even piggybacking off that, and just like, give you more information. Like, the first game when he got hit the first time, like, they said, like, because doctors is a separate doctor, not team doctors. They don't have team doctors because of that reason. The team might want him back out there, so they have a separate doctor, different, not with the team, an independent doctor to stay be on the sideline to tell him like, hey, what I'm saying, you got a concussion or whatever. And this doctor, I don't know the name, but like, this person said, hey, they took repercussions as if it was, a concussion. They asked them questions, they did tests, they ran tests on them,
Mhm.
and then, all of a sudden it comes back that they said it wasn't a concussion, it's I think a neck and back injury or something like that.
Mhm.
But if you see, like, maybe later, you know, it's a video of him. If you see a video, it's him, like, he'll get up, he walks a little bit, but he falls back to his knees almost. And I thought that was just a sign of like, hey, that's a concussion. Even if it wasn't, and you don't, because you don't know, don't let him go back out there because it could get worse. And that's what we seen in game 4, the 4 days later, coming back, he got slung to the ground again. And turf, being, a former football player, that turf, under turf is like literally almost concrete. I'm pretty sure it is concrete under turf. So it's just like when he hit his head again, his hand seized up, and that ground, when you impact the ground like that, and plus under that is no cushion at all, it's no soft grass, no nothing. You're literally hitting your head. I felt like, when his hand seized up, I'm like, yo, he shouldn't have been out there. He shouldn't have went out there. And I think that's just a bad job by the Dolphins, first of all, and the doctor or whoever, just letting, because the reason the doctor is there to save them from their cells, because players gonna always want to be like, yeah, I want to go back out there, I want to play, I need to play, you know what I'm saying? And plus, in his situation, I know I'm rambling about this, but in his situation, his story, he been through a lot with this team. Like, he been through trade rumors, like they was, saying that he not good enough. They's finna trade him for Deshaun Watson, then Tom Brady. Then when he actually played, he got benched. And then somebody else played, and he started again. It was just a whole cycle. And he just wanted to, if I'm thinking in his shoes, I'm trying to show this team this season that, like, hey, I'm your guy. Y'all can bet on me. And he put his body on the line. He wasn't thinking, obviously, because as a player, you want to do what's best for the team, and you're not thinking right in that moment. So as a player, he was trying to go back out there and be a superhero, but then, ended up getting severely hurt, which this could possibly be, something career threatening, not life threatening, but career threatening, to where he probably can't play the game again. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for the organization or just the coaches or whatever, to let him go back out there, you know what I'm saying, and you seen that he wasn't, right or whatever, I would have just called it, concussion, and just let it go. But for them to let him go out there, because as Shannon Sharp said, shout out to Shannon, he said, if a doctor tells you, if that was my son, or you look at somebody and be like, if that was my son, I would not let him do that, you should not let that man go back out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? In that situation. So I feel like a little bit's on Tua. It's on Tua some, for the most part as a person, because he's the one going out there. But for the team, that's why they have, standards and repercussions for like stuff like this, like doctors and people in place to stop these players from hurting themselves. So, just for that to fail and not to go through, and it didn't work because y'all switched it and said it was a back neck injury. Even if it was that's sound a little bit worse than concussion, you know what I'm saying? So why would you let him go back out there? But, it's a business at the end of the day. We got to think about that too. So,
yes,
I mean, that was crazy to me because, just seeing what he been through, I understand like his tough and his grit, but at the end of the day, that's somebody gonna get sued. Either somebody gonna get sued or like some finna give, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen, but obviously I think something's gonna give, because that should have never happened,
yeah.
So we'll see what happens, moving forward. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. One more thing,
Mhm.
Jalen, have you seen or even heard? I haven't watched it, but the Jeffrey Dahmer series.
I've been hearing about that. Like, I've been hearing about that randomly.
Like, have you like I've heard the story before multiple times. This isn't the first like show or movie they made about this. I've seen documentaries about this guy like years ago. Like, you know
Yeah,
how you be watching like those killer documentaries about these
yeah.
serial. I used to watch stuff like that with my mom like a long time ago. It came on TV, so I know
Mhm.
about them. They had a movie about them.
Yeah.
So this isn't new. One, but this is Netflix is creating a has created a series about it, and it's about Jeffrey Dahmer. He is a serial killer. He had either 14 or 17 victims. I can't remember. All
Wow.
of them were men, mainly like gay men, because he would go to like gay clubs and stuff like
Mm.
that. And that's how he would choose his victims.
Wow.
And 10, I believe, out of the 14 or 17 of them were African American people.
Mm.
Um, so he would like lure them to his house or something, and he would like drug them. And he would, you know, rape them, beat them, dismember their body. He would cut off their
Wow.
limbs, blah 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 blah. He would have sex with them even when they're dead. He would have sex with their dead corpse. He would eat their body parts. He even said that he would go for victims that didn't have tattoos because the ink in the skin made it taste bad. So he preferred people who didn't have tattoos.
Ugh.
Um, but one thing I don't like about this series is because I get it, you trying to bring awareness like that about this story, but it's already people know about it, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't agree with is the fact that Netflix didn't even contact the victims' family. I mean, you can't contact the victims, they're dead, obviously, but the
Right. Right.
family of these victims and ask permission
Yeah. That's
to continue. So you're just continuing this family's trauma. So that you didn't ask for permission, one, that's number one. Number two, these families are not making a cent off of this show. They're making no money. So you didn't get our consent
Netflix. You
and
looking bad.
you're profiting off of our pain, the loss of
Mm.
our loved ones.
Netflix. You looking bad.
But one other thing I would say, because our time is running up,
Right.
um, this Jeffrey Dahmer had his victims like in the 1990s or 80s or something like that during that time.
Yeah.
This opinion I'm about to give is strictly for the black victims. The
Okay.
black victims. You can say I'm wrong, or
Okay.
you can take me for what I say, but I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna stand in my truth.
Okay.
The racial discrepancies or the racial hostility between white and black people isn't as bad today as it was back then, right? Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walking through life as a black man had the audacity to go to a white man's house alone? I'm not saying you deserve to die, but I'm saying you
Uh,
deserve to get your butt whooped. I'm not saying you deserve to die. They did not deserve to die.
no, at all. But like, I see what you're saying though. Like,
But
that's kind of
because
skeptical.
here's the thing. There's black people back then, we didn't even have to go into the lion's den for us to get towed up. Quote unquote Emmett Till, just standing in public being black. Didn't go
Exactly.
into the lion's den, got himself killed. These black victims, they went into the lion's den. They chose to go to this white man's house alone.
Uh,
Alone.
all right
You
then.
walked into the lion's den. So you know the racial discrepancies and the hostility back then, there's no way you couldn't have known like I
Uh,
didn't know. I don't understand like the racial hostilities, bro.
I'm
You mean
telling
you
you.
don't know? More people back then knew about the racial tensions back then than they do now. Because the racial tensions back then was worse than it is now.
I'm telling you
I'm
back
not saying
then.
they deserve to die that way.
Mm-mm.
No, they did not. But I'm
No.
saying they deserve they butt whooped. Because how you gonna do that? You walk outside
Yeah.
every day as a black man in the 1990s, 80s, or whatever, whatever, and you go
Right.
into a white man's house alone, alone,
It's so many ways.
alone,
It's it's so many.
bro.
It's so many ways that could have been avoided. So I see what you talk about. Like, cause like, why would you go? Why? Like you said, it's a black man. Why would you go to this man's house? I know obviously, you're gay and that's your lover or whatever, but like,
No. Here's another point. A stranger at that. You just met the man that night.
you're right.
You're black. You went to a white man house alone, and you didn't even know him. A stranger. That's three. That's three.
Like, why not a hotel or something in
Here's the
public?
thing. If Dahmer was like, "Hey, you want to go to my house to get something to eat? We can go down to the chicken joint down the street. Why you got to in public? Why I got to go
Right.
to your house? If we going somewhere, at least come to mine. Cause I
We
don't know. No,
we can go to
no,
Popeyes, but like,
no,
cause that's crazy.
no.
That's
Absolutely not.
crazy.
Absolutely not.
That's
I
wild.
don't know. Maybe you got to be a gay black man to understand. I'm not a gay black man, so I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah, I'll get that logic, but it's still that no, it's just I feel like that's just a common sense thing. Like, but I mean, back then it might have been something different. Like, I don't know. In that space,
So you
I
mean
guess
to
if
tell me
you
back then they ain't nobody taught them stranger
no,
danger? Ain't
no,
nobody taught them stranger.
I'm not even saying that. I guess what I'm trying to say is like for that community, I guess like if you were in that community, because both communities was hated, black people and what I'm saying, the LGBT community back then were hated. Like if you came up and said you were gay or a lesbian or whatever the case may be, people would scold you for that too back then, and worse than it was now. So it was kind of like, I guess that community, and then also being black, I think that was kind of like, they felt safe with those people. Whoever was in that party, that was like, okay, this person, not gonna say nothing or not gonna do anything because of the whole situation. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you. But that's some great logic thinking right there. That's man, that's bad. That's bad. It's
Bruh.
sad because they obviously lost their life, which they shouldn't have,
They
but
shouldn't have.
they shouldn't
But I'm
have. But like,
saying you not using your
comments.
reasonable
Yeah,
judgment. Maybe
yeah.
they was drunk because he caught them at the party. So
Okay,
they might have been drunk.
okay. That might have been something. That might have been something. You know what I'm
But
saying?
there was some men like I saw like part of the show, some of the show.
Yeah.
Some of them men weren't drunk. They just went
Uh,
there just because they wanted to have a good time.
nah, if that's the case, you
How
should have
you
at least been on guard. At least, like, you should at least been ready to
and
defend yourself,
then
if
and
anything.
then and then on top of that, we only got 3 minutes left, but
We
can you
good.
hear
We
me?
good. Yeah, I heard you.
When they went into his house, because remember he would chop up their bodies and stuff, he
Yeah.
will put their bodies, like the disfigured bodies, dismembered, head cut off, arms cut off, blah blah, put their bodies in like his refrigerator or his freezer. So when they would walk into his house, it would smell terrible. They'll walk into his house and be like, "Oh, what's that smell?" And he'd be like, "Oh, it's bad meat." So you black going to a white man's house, he a stranger, you went there alone and his house smells like toe up roadkill and you don't want to leave. I know you up in there trying to have sex with this man or whatever, because you're gay. But who wants to have sex in a room that smells like that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just maybe it was because I'm a girl and I just understand stranger danger and I understand the historical context between white and black people that this just
Yo,
doesn't make sense to me.
yo, yo, bruh.
I just see too many red flags. Like
What?
too many. After you, if I see two red flags in you, I'm dipping. Even one, I might give you the benefit of
If
a
I
doubt if you
see
see
half a
one.
flag,
If I see two, I'm definitely dipping.
if that mug pink, I'm dip, dip. Like,
I'm gonna just say one because I be giving people the real benefit of the doubt because maybe there's some context behind it. There's probably a reason for it.
man,
They might need to do some internal healing. That's probably why it's red flags. Maybe we can work through this. But two,
it's like every reason we had to get them, it kind of got took back because of something else. They like
something else.
it was kind of like the smell thing kind of took it over the top. If it smelled bad in there, he talk about bad meat. Why he didn't change the meat if it's bad? Like, don't just like have like don't that kind of thinking just come into your mind? Like, why he didn't change? Like, why he didn't change the meat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why?
Right,
But
like you just sitting in this apartment with bad meat.
But
bro.
I guess, man. I guess, bro. I guess, bro.
Anyway, we got 1 minute. You anything else you want to add in this last minute, bro?
Man, nah. It, I ain't got nothing after that, bro.
All right, J.A.B Nation. Thank you for rocking with us. We out. Cue the music.
Hey, yo.